4 between Viper and Liereyy. If you missed the earlier games, Viper won game 1, Liereyy won game 2, and Viper responded with the game 3 victory on Bay. Game number 4 is played on King of the Desert 2 Arabia. So this whole show match is incorporating different maps from different tournaments. This King of the Desert Arabia has very close zebras. You start with a goat, so it's very rare that you'll have like rough starts, economically speaking. But then you tend to have a lot of forward resources. And I found in King of the Desert 2, I found in the tournament that sometimes the maps were slightly unfair with the hills and the forward positions. And I look at Viper's base right now. Viper's hill on the front is going to be really tough for him. Or it could help him, of course, right? Because he could wall and build up on that. Whereas Liereyy doesn't seem to have as much elevation. Liereyy has quite a few woodline options, back gold, back stone. This will be a classic mobility versus strong compactness. I still don't have a way to explain this, but basically Huns are more flexible. Huns will go scouts and cav archers and knights, which is very fast. And most likely Liereyy will have a slower style, slower civ, and he might need to rely on walls a bit more. But I'll talk about that once we get to the point where they're creating military. Yeah, Rogue Jokin says, rip LAN maps in King of the Desert 2. Yeah, it was LAN and Hera who got really screwed over by the maps in that tournament. That said, I think the bigger issues was that the way it was set up was civilizations you use in round 1, you can't use in rounds 2, which gave advantages to Liereyy and Viper because Liereyy and Viper played like the 31st and 32nd seed. And so some of the players had more strong civilizations and other players, struggled. I think for Hera, if I think back, it was versus Tato. Tato towered him like crazy. And I kind of felt bad for the guy. I didn't think about that until I said that name out loud. I think I just called you Rogue before, but Rogue Jogan is pretty creative. I don't have many dreams beyond like what I'm doing right now. This is a dream for me to be able to cast games and have a stream and YouTube and stuff, but it would be pretty cool to get to the level where I would be on the Rogue Jogan podcast. Maybe that's like the budget version of the Joe Rogan podcast, the Rogue Jogan. Maybe I have to start there. Maybe that's where Joe scouts for his podcast attendees. But yeah, I'm not anywhere near that level. Would be cool, though. Okay, so I would expect Man-at-Arms for Liereyy. He already has his Eagle forward scouting Viper's base. What's good about Viper's base layout is his woodlines are very close to the TC. So if he wants to open up with scouts, he can do that because he can wall in towards the town center. Now, getting the other resources will be a problem because they're further away. But having everything close to the TC is nice. And oh my god, Viper building the gate. He's building another gate? Come on, Viper. That's way too much effort. That's hilarious. He's just gated in this Eagle. And Liereyy just leaves anyway. I don't think that was worth it for Viper. Look at all the idle TC time. He invested into 3 gates. I don't know about that, but we'll give him the style points. 10 out of 10, Viper. I think had he not garrisoned his TC, maybe it would have been worth it for the lulz. But he's fine. He researched Loom a little bit early, which is interesting. And there's the barracks for Liereyy. So every single game, Liereyy has gone for militia. Game 1, he went Drush FC with militia. Game 2, he went Man-at-Arms into archers. Game 3, he went militia. And he's doing it again here. But this time, it's definitely the norm. I think on the previous map, it was just inexperience on the map to do that, but it is good that Viper weakened this Eagle, because if Viper wouldn't have weakened this Eagle, Liereyy could have fought Viper there to stop Viper from pushing in the deer. Or not deer, zebra, sorry. It's about sending a message. Yeah, Flubbo, that might be it. Liereyy might be like, oh, micro nerd, I don't know. I can't do the aftermath voices. It's a bummer I don't have MBL in here to co-cast, because I would love to hear MBL talk about when he thinks his teammate is tilted. Because he knows Liereyy really well, and I think when I casted with MBL last time, I forget who it was, he was like, oh, so-and-so's tilted. Liereyy hasn't made any militia yet. What's going on here? He came back to his base. He went to gold a bit late as well. Don't tell me it's straight archers or eagles. That would be rather uncommon. Yeah, it's a jail horse. Sorry, my bad. Here, I've never zoomed in on a zebra before. Oh. Oh, gross, man. Sorry, I didn't mean to look at that area of him. Do we have another one? There we go. Zoom in. Hey, buddy, this is a better sight. Do you like T90 Official's stream? You do? Perfect! He likes the stream. I like this guy. Don't eat him, Liereyy. He's a nice guy. So, Lierey's going for an eagle rush. I'm surprised that zebras even know about Twitch, to be honest. I'm impressed. He's going with straight eagles, and Viper is going with scouts. Now, feudal age scouts, they're faster than eagles, and they trade well versus eagles before the eagles get upgrades. So that means Liereyy will need to be very defensive, and again, wall a lot. I'd said that in Dark Age. But if you get a spearman and a few eagles, then it suddenly becomes different. So I saw this matchup quite a few times on a different map called Prairie months back. And this is kind of what I expect. I expect Liereyy to continue with eagles and spears, go for mainly eagles, and believe it or not, Viper, who will obviously be going for Vil picks now, but in Castle Age, will probably go Cav Archers. And you might think, well, T90, why would you ever make archers versus an eagle? Because eagles are anti-archer. Well, it's because Cav Archers are faster than eagles, and because the other alternative would be to go knights, and knights are good versus eagles until pikes are mixed in. So that's a deadly combo, eagles and pikes. Well, what happened here? Was this not walled? Lierey's trying to quick wall his villager in, which Viper's so known for. You just see him running back and forth. Yeah, I like how everyone knows about the whole quick wall thing now, and so people know how to deny it. But that's huge for Viper. I don't know what happened there. Like, there must have been a hole of some kind, and suddenly Lierey's not walled on that side. He has to send units back to defend. He is sending some units forward, but again, Viper's very close to his TC, so Viper, he might not struggle that much versus this. Age of Gates from Viper. He keeps the eagles and the spearmen out. And Viper's beginning to make those archers. But Viper did lose a villager there. He got wedged in against the gate. Alright. The other thing about Aztecs is they have an insane farm bonus, so their food count will go up really quickly. So I guess sloppy from both of them to lose the villager. And Liereyy really needs to keep Viper off of his resources, but he will wall this up now. Again, that was really weird because I thought that the one palisade wall had already been hit. Oh, this is bad for Liereyy. He sent his eagles this way. He doesn't have his spearmen with his eagles, and the eagles were weak, so Viper, he probably won't stop there. He's killed 2 eagles, which take a long time to create. And Viper's defending well at home. Also, Viper with good micro goes in to attack the spear. Liereyy bails on it for a moment. And yeah, this is all good damage for Viper. I think I would consider this free damage, and the reason I say that is because Liereyy let Viper in. Avoidable damage would probably be the right thing to say. But Lierey's still going to click up to Castle Age faster than Viper. And, oh, Viper's making another stable, huh? Well, Lierey's now fully walled. Again, a very good trade for Viper. He'll take that every day of the week. Are Tarkans ever good to make? Tarkans, believe it or not, probably feature more in matchups where it's a straight Hun War, because in a Hun War, players tend to go for Cav Archers. Also, you could justify making Tarkans if your opponent's making a lot of archers. So I guess if it was Huns versus Mayans and the Mayan player was making plumes, you could go for Tarkans. Of course, Mayans could then make the pointy boys. But yes, they are good units. If anything, I think they're they're underappreciated. Yeah, definitely underappreciated and undermade in some situations. Liereyy didn't have his second building to click up. He didn't have a blacksmith. Well, no, sorry, he has a blacksmith. He didn't have a market. So he's not faster than Viper, just due to a build order issue. And look how annoying Viper is being. Oh, speaking of being annoying, Liereyy does have forging. Viper, he keeps this villager alive. No way. Doink! She's dead. Oh, and he's gonna die too. Doink! Oh, that damage was so good. Gives Liereyy the Vill lead. I can smell a gate. Oh, don't send your weak Vill out here. Liereyy will just snipe him. What are you doing, Viper? Oh my god! I am disgusted. I need to wash my eyeballs out with soap. That was... I mean, not that that would help. But, oh my god. That was really well played. But it's still there. Like... like, he created that problem for himself. He just wanted the highlight. And it's a ton of idle time, exactly. Ooh, wow. Forward villagers, huh? Is Liereyy considering a siege workshop on this hill? Remember, I said this would be the hill that Viper would struggle to hold. 49 population for Liereyy. Has the villager lead. He's sending 2 of his extra vills forward. And he will go for the Eagle Warrior upgrade. Now, Viper has 2 stables. Now, remember I said that going for, like, full range CA is what I've seen a lot in the past. Really curious to see what happens. Now, Viper doesn't see the villagers. He's going to defend from the early wave of eagles. Now, this is a common problem for Liereyy. I think he dives into attacks too early. He just lost some HP that was unnecessary. But he is attacking right next to Viper's gold. And a siege workshop and monastery right on the hill. Viper has no clue. I don't love the early fight for Liereyy, but now Eagle Warrior and Chain Armor is going to complete. Once that completes, he'll be versed just crossbows and a few cav archers. Viper's knights did die. This is a problem for Viper. I think this series is going to be tied up. Viper has to micro as much as possible. This is his gold. He can't lose this. If he loses this at any point, it's game over. Does he have enough to hold on? This is before more eagles come in. This is before before the monks arrive. Liereyy has killed some villagers. He's lost his big mass of units, though. And now Viper sees that build. Now, Viper might be thinking that Lierey's going to build stuff now, but it's already built. And 1 monk is on the way, at least. But I don't like this fight for Liereyy. I don't like that fight. He dove in too early. He has very low HP units. Viper just sends the cav archers in to pick off the monk. And he'll get the monk. And meanwhile, he's running around with DCA. Man, this is so good from Viper. This defense is not easy, I can tell you that much. Liereyy needed more patience. His eagles are super weak. Anytime Liereyy moves in with the eagles, Viper backs up. That's quite a commitment to forward villagers as well. There's 4 forward vills. Forward. Okay, so Lierey's 1 TC, Viper's 2 TCs. I don't know if Viper will have the food income to create vills out of both, but at least he has something to protect him there. He's just getting by, Viper. He's just getting by. He's getting a lot of little hits in with the cav archers. He has the knights as a buffer. He sent the crossbows up here, probably to pick off any monks that might come out. Here he has gated. Unbelievable how like calm Viper has been under pressure. Truly unbelievable. But there, this fight's getting a little bit worse for him now. He's lost his knights. And now another archer range for Viper, which he might go for a quick wall. Villager survives. By the way, if you guys play this game, I'm not saying you're going to be able to do it as good as Viper. Trust me, it's hard. But get the grid mod I couldn't do it, and then I started practicing with grid mod. It's really fun when you pull it off. Because basically, all the tiles are separated, so it's easy for you to see like where you need to click. And the timing of it with the enemy unit. It's really, really fun. Highly recommend it. Like I remember the first time I got like a Viper-esque one where the timing, like, my villager should have never survived. I was so happy. I wanted to brag about it to you guys. Oh my god! Why did Liereyy send out the Mangonel? It's just wasteful. The Viper waited for that. Sniped the Mangonel. And Liereyy sends Eagles to the left. Viper has a TC. He sends Eagles to the right. And Viper's microing with Cav Archers. Now, Liereyy is expanding his economy behind... Wait, did he sell his stone? No, he sold his stone. I thought he would have extra TCs. He doesn't have the stone because he sold it. Wow. Well, that should mean if Viper holds on, his Vil count will rise, his Cav Archer number will rise, and now it's primarily Cav Archers he's making, and this is how Huns can win this matchup. Now, Viper doesn't even have a university, so no ballistics for him, for those that are wondering. Yeah, Lierey's been extremely wasteful. Again, he sends the Monk out, he loses it. He sends the Mangonel, he loses it. Viper's on the ball, but I thought in early Castle Age, Liereyy shouldn't have dove in. I think he should have waited for his Eagle Warrior upgrade, then fought. And then multiple times now, he's been sending units out. And it's still high-level stuff from Liereyy. It's still a winnable game for Liereyy, but you can't make these tiny mistakes for his Viper. You have to be near perfect. But there's a lot going on here. He has to micro his unit. Oh! Okay, that was a good engagement. That wasn't bad. You know, you have to micro, you have to macro. So sometimes forgetting where you have your units going is the problem. He built another... Hold on. Oh, I guess my monastery hotkey isn't working. My barracks hotkey is working. Monastery hotkey is not working for me. I think he built another monastery somewhere else. Oh, Liereyy's expecting Viper to dive in. And Viper dives in anyway and micros his Cav Archers. Can you see how risky it is for Aztecs, though? To not have this hill? Oh my god. Like, Viper killed the Mangonel. It was impressive. This one he'll probably kill as well. But there's so many Eagles. And that's an upgrade I thought Liereyy had. Not having Squires is a big deal, because Squires gives the Eagles extra movement speed. I feel like this villager might walk through this gate and open it. You see how he wants to walk to the mining camp? Viper's repairing the gate, which is unbelievably annoying. And he's sending Cav Archers into the counterattack. Does Liereyy have Eagles here to defend from this? Liereyy just now has reacted. And meanwhile, Viper's somehow defending versus this. Incredible play from Viper. Now, his villagers do have to leave the gold as well. He'll lose villagers. Viper has 20 more villagers, but he's just lost a bunch of them, and he has lost some of his gold access. He has gold over here still. Wow. And Viper's CA are still running around. And Lierey's not sending... Oh, God. He's just panic built a TC right when Viper arrived. Oh, that's huge. That could be the game. Right there. That could be game over. That could be 3-1 Viper. Oh, but that Mangonel shot is big for Liereyy. Still, though, Viper has 20 more villagers. Yeah, Liereyy calls to GG. He didn't have any military home. In truth, though, I think the second Viper was in a position to counterattack at all, it was probably game over. Because Viper was the one who had more eco. So if Viper's... The second he's comfortable enough to counter, that means that he's comfortable enough to extend his boom and extend his lead. So it really had to be all in one TC for Liereyy. Man, that was so good. I know that Liereyy made a few mistakes, like the monks got picked off and the Mangonels got picked off, but that would be taking too much away from Viper, I think. Viper just made everything there look incredibly easy. And this game isn't... It's probably not going to be a game we remember for years to come, but in terms of skill... And in terms of the talent that you need to execute, this was definitely up there with some of the best games you've seen from Viper. Like the little quick walls on the gold here, like repairing the gate so he could defend. The counter and the timing on everything there, the pickoffs with the monks and the mangonels, everything was so good. All right, so I'll bring up the achievements to show you. The KD is just crazy. Viper will end up winning with the eco as well, except for maybe gold collected. 82 kills for Viper. Largest army was 26 versus 24. It was just the hitting and the running with the CA. And wow, oh my god. Liereyy actually had more food and more gold. Just makes you think if he would have saved his numbers a little bit more, he would have been fine. I think early Castle Age was his problem. But anyways, close game. Viper goes up 3-1 in the very fun series so far. And the next game will be Gold Rush, a map that both players are familiar with.